remember one time we were just kids who lived in a rent-your blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what those are on Columbia Street, all those blocks.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got a lot of kids in those blocks. So anyway, one day I said to my mother, I want to go back out and play with the kids. I had to help her. She sewed.
Mm-hmm.
She had sort of a foot pedal. You know, she didn't have no electric machine. And she said, you got to help me. She was sewing for McCall and Trato. Trato was a big department store.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those classy ones. They found out about my mother. So they would bring the alterations to her.
Oh, wow.
You know. So, and I had to stand there, so she put the dress on me or whatever measure the length. You
Sure.
know. I used to hate it, you know. When I think of it now, how hard she worked.
Sure.
Sometimes you wake up and go to the bathroom, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can hear click, 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 click.
Oh, really?
Going on there, you know. Because you're so busy with all the kids during the day.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she had to work, you know.
Right.
I don't know how she did it. I really don't.
Yeah, because there are how many of you?
8.
8. That's what I thought.
Actually, there was 9 of us. But my brother Raymond, when my mother had the oldest one, Edna, she died.
Mm-hmm.
She had Edna, and she had Raymond. They were very, very close together.
Mm-hmm.
10 months ago, she got pregnant right away. But my grandmother, her mother and grandfather, they lived across the street.
Okay.
And because they had a farm up in Notch Road Way.
Yep.
And they had a fire, destroyed quite a bit of it. So in the meantime, they come to live where they were. Till that was all fixed up.
Mm-hmm.
All the brothers and that, they all went up, you know, to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Work, got it ready for them. And well, my grandmother was very, very strict, you know, the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother said, I want you to stay here. My grandmother was visiting at the time for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
My mother said to me, I want you to stay here. I got 2 more dresses that we had. One of them exactly your size. And I had to stand on something, what it was.
Mm-hmm.
She would bend down and do it. And my grandmother said, now stop your fussing. You can go out and play after, but you got to do this.
Right.
Does it hurt you? I said, no. I said, stop fussing. She was something else.
Yeah.
But we all loved her. When she come over, she would bring us candy.
Nice.
And well, we just knew when she come over, waiting for her to open that bag up. And she'd always open it, you know. It was a treat for us when we got older for our birthday or we did something extra special or something.
Mm-hmm.
She lived in North Adams.
Okay.
So we could go down and spend the time with my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
We spent like Saturday and Sunday. It was school week.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, she would do everything for us. She'd spoil us rotten, you know.
Well, as grandmothers are wont to do.
Yeah. But I used to enjoy that, you know. Besides, we had to get on the trolley to go there.
Oh, right.
The tracks are all gone now. We had a trolley from Adams, went all the way to Williamstown.
Oh, wow.
You know, so you get cost you a nickel to get on there.
Mm-hmm.
But we really enjoyed my grandmother. My grandfather was so henpecked, my father said. Yeah. Dennis, his name was.
Mm-hmm.
He was a sweetheart. She said, Dennis, now I don't want you to do that. You make me nervous when you do that. And he used to click his heels like that.
Oh, okay.
You're not dancing. You're not. You love to dance. And
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so anyway, she said, later on, she said, so anyway, he come outside with his kids. My father was working, and he start showing us, you know, different things that he did when he was a kid. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It was good, you know.
Good.
The kids, my father, they loved my father. I told you how you play games with
Oh, yeah.
you know. You never knew when you were little. They used to call it Run Sheep Run.
Okay.
That was the name of it. And when one of us had to go hide, And when the other one found you, you had to run, sheep, run.
Okay.
I don't know if my father come up with that,
Yeah.
you know. So when they found the main person, the one that was holding the car, and some kind of a car we had to hold, but then everybody had to holler, run, sheep, run.
Oh, wow.
And you know, we lived, like I said, we lived in a block.
Mhm.
Most of y'all kids lived in a block, you know, like all big families.
Sure.
People who were alone didn't like you. But at the end of the block, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the block, not a block. The other blocks are longer.
Okay.
And my father would say, now, I don't want you to go by that fence because you could hear cussing words over there, because that was where Chicks was.
Oh, okay.
And that
Gotcha.
fence separated we were the last tenant.
Okay.
Separated there. And of course, the more he said that, the more we wanted to go.
Well, sure.
He'd say, well, did you hear what that man said? That's a nasty word. But like I said, it was good. And if it was raining outside, my mother said, you have to bring the whole neighborhood. And we had a big table in the dining room. That's where we ate all our meals. Because the way it was separated, on one side, off of there was a kitchen, there was a sink and a refrigerator, ice box, and cupboards. And then there was a little entry. You go to back there, and there was a little table and chairs, and we'd have our breakfast there, you know. Because we never all ate together for breakfast, different time going to school, you know.
Sure.
But we had this big table and everything. And my father made they used to call it cinnamon. That's a French name. Cinnamon.
Okay.
And, but it's part cheesy, you know.
Oh, okay.
So my father had an oilcloth, they call it, tablecloth. But it was, they call them oilcloths.
Okay.
You know. Turned it on the other side, and he drew a great big cheesy game.
Oh, nice.
And just like you have on a thing. Did a whole great big one. And I think we had two and one on each end, you know, play the game. And he took the clothespins.
Yeah.
He cut the clothespins and had the top what they had on, and he soaked them in paint. 2 of them, all different colors. So that's what we use them to go around.
And they still basically use the same idea today, because they have I can't think what they call them, the name of them are, but they're little figures that look basically, must be where they got the original inspiration from, because they look like a little meeple is what they call them.
Right.
But they look, that's probably where they came from, is from doing that.
Yeah. Oh, everybody copying him after that. So, but like I said, it was a big one. So, set on the table, and there was 4 of us playing it. But it was a lot of fun, but a lot of mean words. They couldn't swear, but they come close to it.
Right.
You know, it says, you skip. You can't do that. You skipped a bunch. You know you're on hold there, you know. And, oh, gee. And then my father would straighten it out. You know, you want to play, you got to be quiet.
Sure.
You know. Then my mother would usually be sewing in a corner somewhere. It was bigger than this room here. The dining room, it was a kitchen, and Marcy. But the kitchen sink, like I told you, was divided off of it. I didn't draw a picture or something. But, so anyway, that was separate from the dining room. She worked off of that. And my mother's sewing machine was in that big room. She had a window right over her sewing machine. She could look out, watch and see us kids play.
Oh, that's
nice. She had that. And there was always a bunch of clothes with numbers on them, and they owned the people that brought the stuff over, you know. And I know one time the woman come knocking at the door, and my mother said, "Oh, Sylvia, I got so much I could never get in time that you wanted for." She said, "Oh, well, no," she says, "I've got to have it for the kids' play." She wanted 2 dresses to be something with either him on them or add something to them, I don't know. And I said, well, she says, I really need it. She said, I'll pay a double, you know, probably $1 or 2.
Right.
And I said, well, it's not the money, it's the time, you know. So anyway, she said to me, go over to Mrs. Tongway's and asked her if she could hold off another day for that dress. And then she said, I had to go over. She said, oh, sure, I can do that. So that lady was happy. So, but my mother, like I said, my mother worked hard, to do that. And then years before that, she worked in a cotton mill,
Okay.
So, but
So she was working for the store and taking stuff on the side, like private work.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she did pretty well between her. And then my father used to cut hair, like I said.
Yeah, I remember.
And then he worked in the mills. He was a loom fixer.
Oh, okay.
Which is a pretty good job. Probably making $18 a week.
Yeah.
When I first started, I don't know if I told you this. When I first started to work, I was only 16. I got out of school.
Okay.
I didn't want to go. The nuns were giving me a hard time. So my mom said, well, if you get out of school, you got to work.
Sure.
So, but I wasn't old enough yet. I was 15. You got to be 16 to get in here. So I said to my mother, I look, you look 12. So anyway, this woman, my mother knew, was looking for somebody to help her with her 2 kids she had, because she was a nurse and she worked.
Okay.
And she wanted somebody that she could depend on to watch those 2 kids. So my mother told her about me, and she said to me, I went over, she talked to me, told me what I had to do. And 6 hours, I know. And she said, if you do good, you get a bonus. I got $2 a week. It wasn't a full week, no, I think it was 3 days. Somebody else, a neighbor or aunt or somebody. So that was pretty good money.
Sure.
So anyway, the kids wanted me all the time. I played games with them because I was young yet, So she said, I can't just let her, the other one go because she's a relative.
Wow.
But she says, you do good, she says. And so when my birthday came, Mr. Duval, that was husband, he said, Lorraine, I got a present for your birthday. And I said, where does he got it, So he handed me this box. And I opened the box. There was another box. I opened that box. There was another box. Then I opened this other smaller box, and it was heavy, And I opened it up. It was all quarters.
Wow.
He said, you got a quarter for every birthday, and you got a quarter for all the good deeds you did for me. So I think I got maybe, my mother threw us all those quarters. I think it was $18.
Wow.
That was a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
So my mother said, well, we're going to put it in the bank. We'd go up to the bank, and you had to have $5 to open up an account, So she said, we're going to go to the bank, and you're going to open up an account.
Sure.
I think, so I did, open an account. So every time I had to have $5 to put it in, and they wouldn't accept just $2, $3. You had to have at least 5.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why.
Yeah. I can see to start it, but after that, that's strange.
But that's the way it was anyway.
Yeah.
But I did pretty good. I saved pretty good. I went to night school, and for a while, and I was working, with the jury, and I really enjoyed that. I made friends, But I was always kind of pushed aside with the kids because they want to play these games, and they say, no, you got to sit down, you're too short.
Oh.
They kept pushing me aside all the time. So the only thing that let me play was hopscotch, So one day, anyway, they were playing this with a bigger ball, and like a dodgeball.
Okay.
You heard about that.
Yeah.
And so I was sitting down there, and I couldn't play, And all of a sudden, the ball, I caught the ball, So I took the ball and I threw it to the other girl, and she threw it back to me, and then I threw it to them. So then they let me play after that. So you do all right for a shorty, I was good at it after a while. that made one girl jealous.
Oh, really?
She said to him, "Buddy, you know, she really shouldn't be playing. She's too short to play." He said, "Dolly," he said, "she may be too short, but she can do pretty good."
Right.
Yeah. So much. You know, we were poor, but
Yeah.
you know, we had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time they had Dizatel as a shoe store on Park Street,
Okay.
and they had Weinberg Joan on Summer Street. You know, you had a big store. They did two of them. And when you want a pair of shoes, you got to see which you get the better deal.
Oh,
with,
sure.
You know what I mean? So my father was smart though, and when it come time home for school, we all had shoe. We wore sneakers or barefooted, mostly barefoot all summer. So he'd go over and see Mr. Dizatel, "I'm going to bring in 5 kids." He said, "You make a deal with me. Give me a deal." So he told him, then you go over to the other place. "I'm going to bring 5 kids in. Can you make me a deal?" And he told, so whoever got the most, $2 a pair or something, to get the cheapest, that's where we went.
Sure.
For our shoes,
Sure.
you know. And we didn't get new shoes too much, you know.
Yeah.
When you went to start school,